Back here at Progressive Field, Indians and Red Sox in Game 2 of their 3-game series here at Progressive Field. Fausto Carmona looking to even his record on the season to 4-4. And to do that, he'll have to beat Terry Francona's Boston Red Sox. And his starting lineup tonight looks like this. Jacoby Ellsbury in the leadoff spot, followed by Jed Lowry, the switch hitter, then Adrian Gonzalez, Kevin Youkilis, David Ortiz, and J.D. Drew in the middle. Jason Varitek, Carl Crawford, and Drew Sutton starting for the banged-up Dustin Pedroia.
Fausto Carmona making start number 11 this year. He is 3-4 and a .476, coming off a tough start against the White Sox. They have beaten him up 2 times this year. But the first time he came back and pitched after the White Sox, he matched up against the Red Sox, did a terrific job in his 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs. We'll see if he can do that again tonight. Let's certainly hope so. Let's take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network. Brantley, Carrera, Chu in the outfield, Hanahan, Asdrubal, Orlando, Laporta on the infield, and Santana back behind the plate.
Umpires tonight, Rob Drake will call the balls and strikes. David Rackley at first, the crew chief. Bruce Dreckman at second, and Paul Emmel is down at third. Fausto Carmona ready to go, and his first pitch is up high, ball 1 to Ellsbury. 64 degrees, our game time temperature here tonight. And a strike over the outside corner. A little bit high, 2 balls and a strike. Ellsbury was hit by a pitch in his second trip to the plate last night. That's the 5th time that's happened. But 4 of those have been just since May 14th. As Dribble Cabrera throws him out, 1 away. Brings up Jed Lowry. Switch hitting shortstop. Comes in with a .317 average on the year. 3 homers, 20 runs batted in.
Lowry moves up into that number 2 hole with Pedroia out.
Carmona fires and it's fouled right back. Indians open play with a record of 30-15, best record in baseball. 7-game lead over Detroit in the division. The Red Sox still a half game in back of both New York and Tampa in the AL East. Swung on and missed. Carmona strikes out Jed Lowry, and we have 2 down here in the first.
Take a look at the Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. Carmona finding the zone, wasted no time. There's a pretty good sinker down and in. He gets him to swing over the top of and gets strikeout number 1 tonight.
But it's really important for Carmona to be able to establish himself in the strike zone. I mean, the whole idea with a sinker ball pitcher is for the hitters to put the ball in play. And if you're not throwing strikes, especially early on, then hitters are going to be a lot more patient and not put the ball in play nearly as often.
It's almost like you're pitching a contact, but his ball moves so much.
Oh, my. You don't realize how much it moves until you get closer to the field and really see the bite on that pitch. Really effective pitch and a tough pitch to put and play hard.
Adrian Gonzalez awaiting the 0-1.
You know, that's what people see, and Masterson's in the same boat. When these guys throw the ball, it's tough to square up on pitches like that. You either top them or you get underneath them. It's tough to level up on them unless they're up in the strike zone and they flatten out.
Now the 1-1. And it's hit on the ground into the teeth of the shift. Orlando Cabrera from the outfield grass throws him out. And the Red Sox go 1-2-3. The Indians come to bat against Josh Beckett when we return. Be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Michael Brantley and Asdrubal Cabrera at the top. They were the dynamic duo late last night. Then it's Shin-Soo Choo, Carlos Santana, Travis Buck, and Orlando Cabrera. Matt Laporta, Jack Hanahan, and Ezekiel Carrera getting the start, batting ninth.
Josh Beckett making his 10th start this year. He's pitched very well. 3-1 on 173 ERA. And I'll tell you, left-handers hit 181 off him. Right-handers hit 179. He doesn't give up many hits. He's got a great curveball. His fastball is back. The first time he pitched against the Indians was his first start of the year, and they had Saltalamacchia catching him. Since that point, Veritek has been behind the plate, and they're back at it. A good combination.
Brantley looks at a ball up high.
In his first start against the Indians, he averaged 21 pitches per inning. Since that start, it's been just a shade under 15. Right where where you should be.
Yeah, you want to try to average 15 pitches an inning. I mean, that'll get you through 7 at 105. Have a couple of short innings, you can go ahead and take it on through 9. But if you get much over 15, you're really walking on thin ice as far as pitching deeper into the game than your manager may want you to.
A little bit high. 2 balls and a strike.
Tell you,
173 for Josh Beckett.
It's a pretty good leaderboard. How about this guy, Alexei Ogando? They just turned him into a starter this year.
I think, if I remember, he went the distance last night.
Yes, he did. He had a complete game shutout. Mm-hmm. Sure did against the White Sox. I think he gave up 5 hits.
Yeah, he's 5-0, by the way, Alexei Ogando. So, it seemed like for years the Red Sox found hitters. Every year they'd have a new thumper. Now they're starting to find pitching year after year. They're coming up with these terrific arms. And again, they've made some pretty shrewd trades that have helped that process along. Michael Brantley with a 3-2 count. And it's ball 4. So a good at bat for the Tribe's leadoff man. And that brings us to our great clip of the game. Let's go back to last night in that 8th inning as Asdrubal Cabrera. delivering the big hit off the wall and left, driving home the winning run. Relax. You're at great clips. Now, Mike, during the open, you didn't want to get too technical or break it down analytically, but what does your hitting eye tell you that Cabrera is doing that's enabling him to have so much success right now? Well,
he's keeping his head real still, and to be able to do that, his base, his feet have to be calm, and he doesn't take a real big stride. He lands soft on his front foot and keeps his eyes steady. It's like catching a fly ball out in the outfield. You run on your heels, the ball bounces all over the sky, as Archie used to tell me that it did on him. But it's the same thing as a hitter. I mean, if you land hard on that front foot, it jars, everything jars and moves your eyes. And right now he's not doing that. He's seeing the ball really well. You break hitting down to its simplest form. It's see the ball out of the pitcher's hand and take the barrel of the bat to the ball. When you get in a zone like a Struble, you see the ball right out of his hand. It looks like a softball coming in there, and it sits on a tee for you. And it's just an amazing feeling, amazing thing what you can do with the bat when that happens.
I was going to say it looks like a beach ball to him the way he's seeing it, and everything slows down.
He's in a hole 0-2. And they strike him out, went up and in. Pretty good location there. One down here in the first.
I'm sure glad we talked about him.
Let's take a look at the Home Depot doing more on defense. Red Sox defense tonight. It's Crawford, Ellsbury, and Drew in the outfield. Yougless, Lowry, Sutton, Gonzalez on the infield. Veritek gets the start tonight. More savings, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Toss to first. Brantley back with the dive. Michael has 6 stolen bases on the year. It's interesting, though. I think, maybe to the average person who played a little bit of baseball, but not much, when you say something like see the ball out of the pitcher's hand, that sounds so fundamental. Like, seems like you have to do that. But there are times when you don't, right, Mike? You don't pick the ball up till what? Maybe it's halfway to home plate.
Yeah, and then you're in deep trouble if that happens. But you've got to, you've got to concentrate on the release point of the pitcher. You really, you hear a lot of hitters say they put a box over the guy's right shoulder or left shoulder if he's a left-hand pitcher. And you watch that box, and when you see his hand come through it, you see the ball out of it, and it gives you that much more time to make all those critical decisions that you need to make. If you don't do that, you're really shorting yourself, and it makes hitting awfully difficult. And it's a difficult thing to do anyway.
Would also stand to reason too. Guys do so many drills nowadays too, and the one drill you see a lot of guys do is soft toss. Well, if you soft toss too much, all of a sudden your eye starts looking down as opposed to where the pitcher would normally deliver the baseball from.
Well, you would think so. You really would think so.
You could maybe fall into that habit, I guess.
You could, but that's what your hitting coach is for. And really, when you're soft tossing, you're really working on other things, other fundamental things like staying back off your front side, getting your hands to work, getting in a good leverage position, and seeing the ball out of the guy's hand is real secondary. A lot of guys don't like to hit off the pitching machine because they can't pick the ball up soon enough, and you can get into bad habits if you do it too much.
Chewing a good count, lines one deep down on the left side, but it slices foul.
Chu trying to stay back on that ball. You can see trying to stay on it as long as possible and shoot him the other way in a good hitter's count, 2-0.
Seems like he's been doing a lot of that lately.
He has. I'm sure he's concentrating on it.
Is that a product of trying to get yourself hot again offensively?
It's just trying to stay back and not be out front and swing get you to see the ball a little bit longer. Use the whole field.
All really good hitters stay in the middle of the field with the balls they hit. Good left-hand hitters will stay, from left center field to the right field line, and right-handers from right center field to the left field line. It just, like Archie said, it keeps you on the ball longer and allows all these things to work, and you put the ball in play, and if the ball's a little off speed and you get out front of it, you pull it and hit it really hard. If not, then you hit it the opposite field and hit it hard too. The whole idea is hitting the ball hard. If you hit the ball hard enough, often enough, then good things will happen for you.
Well, certainly Chu has been doing a better job of that here lately. And the 3-2 pitch, Brantley looking to take off here perhaps. Draws a throw, and it's close, but he gets back just ahead of the tag of Gonzalez.
Well, you see they're throwing over there a lot with Beckett because he's maybe about 135 to home plate, and you can run on Veritek behind the plate. So they will be off and running here on the full count. We'll see if he comes back. He's got a good curveball. Haven't seen that yet.
Runner goes, and on the 3-2, Chu lifts a high fly to left over near the line. Crawford into foul ground, makes the grab, 2 away. And that will bring up Carlos Santana. Now, just when it looked like Santana was starting to put some things together offensively, he's fallen into an 0 for 16 slump at the plate.
Well, it doesn't take long to go 0 for 16 when you start doing something. You know, he got the night off last night to try and rest and take a step back and catch a breather. Ended up pinch hitting late in the game, but you know, you look at 0 for 16, that's like 4 games. You go out there, and he's in the middle part of that lineup, so he could be putting a lot of pressure on himself.
Carlos looks at the ball outside.
Well, believe me, you go 0 for 14, and it's 4 games, it feels like 40 games.
Yeah.
You look out there and you swear there's 25 guys standing in the field.
And there are
no
times,
there
there are times that it looks like that. Anything you hit, somebody's right in the way of.
Santana takes it. It's a called strike to even the count at 1-1. Carlos 6 homers, 6 doubles on the year. And he's driven in 21. Outfield plays Santana straight up. Light breeze blowing straight in tonight. Brantley takes off. Pitches outside, no throw. He got a huge jump, and that's his 7th steal of the year.
Well, that's why they continue to throw over there because, you know, he is slow, and there's no reason to try right there. 2 outs, he figured, I'm just going to go after the hitter. He never comes out of the crouch. He sees the jump, so Brantley gets the stolen base.
Now a 2-1 count for Santana with that runner in scoring position. And he chops it foul.
Little cutter right there. It's a pitch that last night Clay Buchholz threw very well to the left-handers. A little cutter, runs it in on the hands. There it is. And you see it darts in late. Doesn't look like much, but boy, when you're in the batter's box, it certainly is. He's got a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Also throws a splitter. And then he's got a really slow hook that he hasn't thrown yet.
So now we understand why his ERA is 1.73.
Oh, yeah. This guy can pitch. When he's on, he's tough.
Up high with it. Full count, and the Indians have made Beckett go 20 pitches already here in the first inning. 10 balls, 10 strikes.
That's a good thing.
Now let's see if Santana.
This is already his 3rd full count.
And put a run on the board here with a base hit. Beckett's payoff pitch. Maybe. Nope. No time called.
There you go. He gets very deliberate when he gets on the mound, like he did in his very first start. But with Veritek behind the plate, these 2 guys are on the same page a lot more.
Now the 3-2. And he's out looking. So the first comes to a close with no score here in Cleveland. McCafe Frozen Strawberry Lemonade. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. And by AT&T. Kevin Youkilis, David Ortiz, and J.D. Drew for Boston here in the second. Fausto Carmona with a fastball strike.
Well, they've done a good job against Youkilis in the 4 games that they have played against him. They've pounded the strike zone. 70 pitches that he has seen, 42 strikes, and 11 of 17 first pitch strikes.
Well, you can't do much better than 0 for 13, huh?
That's right. 0 for 13. That's like this is a guy right in the middle of their lineup, so they've done a good job. It's tough to, contain good hitters
and
for any length of time.
Because historically it seemed like he always hits well against the Indians.
He always has.
Well, I've seen some radical batting stances before, guys, flipping their fingers on the bat,
right.
And I've never seen this.
Julio used to hit like that with his bat facing that way to begin.
Jack Hanahan with a throw over takes care of Youkilis. 1 down here in the second.
Well, you don't want to miss the Indians Music Festival presented by Discount Drug Mart, starring Brad Paisley, Blake Shelton, and Jared Neiman. That'll be Saturday, June 12th, right here at Progressive Field. And for a limited time, you can get $30 seats for only $20, 10 bands for $20. Tickets on sale now at Indians.com, or you can call 216-420-HITS.
To get back real quick to Youkilis, the one thing that he does, as radical as that is, the way he's got his hand slid, I think his right hand slid up the barrel of the bat. He gets the bat back to a good hitting position in plenty of time, and it goes back to, it doesn't matter if you stand on your head. If you get back to it, then you get back to that position in time, then everything's good.
See where those hands come down and then they go right back up.
Right there,
but you think there's so much movement that you could have some problems there.
Well, you could be inconsistent, that's for sure,
right.
Because you can get caught short, and if that happens, then you just got no way to defend yourself.
1-0 pitch misses outside. Yeah, you're right, Mike. I was thinking, who was the guy played? He might have played for you in Baltimore. Was it Batista?
Open stance?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would literally be square with the pitcher's mound. That ball's drilled into the right center field gap. That's going to make it to the wall, and David Ortiz has himself a 1-out double. That's his 10th two-bagger of the year, and the Red Sox have a runner in scoring position now with 1 out here in inning number 2. Nothing too radical with Ortiz and his approach.
Well, look where that ball was, middle of the plate. Left it upstairs, and he took advantage of it. Gives Big Papi a little swinging room, plugs a gap in right center field. 10th double of the year for Ortiz. 1-out double.
Sinker that didn't stink.
J.D. Drew with a runner at second base and 1 out as Ortiz and Cabrera chat at second base. There was a good changeup from Carmona. And Drew really fooled by it.
Well, when Carmona throws that pitch, a lot of people think that's a splitter for him, but that's his changeup, and it's about 84, 85 miles per hour, sometimes 86. But it's got very good movement.
Right back to the mound, and Carmona's got Ortiz hung up.
Gave it up too early.
Yes, he did. They'll retire Ortiz, but Carmona allows Drew to get to second base. Probably should have just kept chasing him back to second base.
Run right at him and force him back to second base. He gave it up way too early over to Carmona, and then, he didn't make the runner commit. You've got to make the runner commit one way or the other. And just go at him, make him go to second base. He gave it up way too early. He could have closed a lot more ground, and that would have stopped Drew from going to second base. That's what you're trying to do there.
So, the good thing is they got the out.
Right.
The bad thing is they traded a slow runner for a fast runner and getting that out.
Ortiz probably never moved more than 10 feet either way.
Yeah, you've got to really make the base runner commit.
Well, Ricky's right. You know, you do, the whole key is, you know, is running at the run. You want to shade, you know, the one side you want him to go to. Obviously, when you go back to second base, you want to shade his right shoulder, his right side, to get him to commit back that way. But the whole idea of in a run down and getting a guy out is to make him commit and fully commit, and then you give the ball up.
The 0-1 pitch. Varitek late swing, 0-2 the count. It just seems to me that, and granted, they practice this over and over and over in spring training, but then the season wears on, and sometimes a pitcher gets that ball hit back to him, and you can almost see it's like an instant panic.
Well, that's why they usually want pitchers to stay on that little piece of dirt out there. That's
yes, he did.
He went around, struck him out. Carmona takes care of Varitek. And we go to the bottom of the second, no score. Bottom of the second here at Progressive Field. Travis Buck, Orlando Cabrera, and Matt Laporta due for the Indians against Josh Beckett, who in striking out Carlos Santana in the first has now whiffed 1,500 batters in his career.
Well, this guy's got good stuff and has his whole life, but he knows how to pitch. Little split. There was a lot of concern about him coming into this year. That's why he left spring training. He was their number 4 starter.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Nice diving stop by Sutton from his knees. Can't throw him out though. And Travis Buck has a leadoff single here in the second inning. And that reminds me of something that Terry Francona said after last night's ball game. Remember the ball that was hit after Dustin Pedroia left the game?
Right. That was Hanahan's base hit.
And Francona said afterwards he thought Pedroia would have had that ball, the way he plays defensively. And he said it's nothing against Drew Sutton, but the way he goes, he said he probably runs over, sucks that ball up, and then
we talked about it last night.
Story, yeah.
He came right in, and it was the first one. I can see this kid goes better to his right than he does his left, because that ball he just didn't get to. He went to slide on it. He didn't go dive for it last night. We said at the time that we thought Pedroia would have caught it. Where that ball finds you when you're coming off the bench.
Orlando Cabrera takes a strike.
Sniper got him. Yeah. It didn't take long.
You know, sometimes there's so little time to make an adjustment where either you slide for it or you dive for it. There's no in between. And there's a lot of times you'll see an infielder dive for a ball that'll go underneath his arm. I mean, he'll have too much glove out there, and It's just it's hard to do.
Fouled right back. It's 0-2. This is the play we're referring to last night after Pedroia got hurt, and then Sutton came in defensively.
But he slides. He slides for it. He doesn't dive for it. He thought he could pick it up that way and get up and throw it. Like a pop-up slide, and he missed it by about 6 inches.
I wonder how much the wet turf, that ball got on him a lot quicker than that, because he thought he had it timed to where he could do that. Obviously, good for us, bad for him.
Right.
But,
I mean, that's true. You don't know out on it because it was rainy, it was miserable, and it was a tough track at that point in the game.
Better to be safe than sorry, though. It's amazing what a game will turn on, and the game really turned on that play.
Now the set by Beckett, and the 0-2 pitch is up and away. Pedroia, by the way, slipped on the bag at second base in the 8th inning, and he went down. He had surgery last August, and when they put a steel screw into a bone in his foot, and he said he had a numbing sensation when he went down, which is obviously why they took him out of the game. Cabrera punches it over the head of the Gonzalez, but it's foul. Broke his bat.
Well, when he went around the back, he actually kicked himself.
Yeah.
If you look at the replay, he kicked himself. And when you kick yourself, if you got a screw in your foot, if you kick that screw, that's not going to feel very good.
Yeah, watch this. There it was, right on the back of the heel or the Achilles. And you could tell he was hurt. He grabbed his thigh, the back of his leg, and you could tell he was in pain.
He came in early today, got treatment. He told Terry Francona that he expects to be back in the lineup tomorrow.
Yeah.
Be a little bit sore, he said today, but other than that, he said he felt pretty good.
Yeah, he's a tough customer, man. He's a good ball player.
1-2 pitch to Cabrera, fouled at the plate.
He's what you call a gamer.
He really is. And what Dave Garcia used to call the guys dead enders.
Dead enders, yes, indeed.
He is a dead ender.
Yes, he is. He gets after it. He plays the game the way it should be, all out.
It's also terribly embarrassing when you do that.
Yeah.
When you take a header out on the field, if there's 40,000 people in the stands, you know that 39,000 of them saw you do it.
Buck, the leadoff man at first. Here in the second for the Tribe. Cabrera trying to move him along here. Orlando, of course, an integral part of that 04 World Championship run for Boston. And again, he steps away.
Yeah, they're a little talking up at the home plate. They can't get on the same page because I think Beckett knows that he will slap a ball the other way if he just goes out there.
Another throw over.
A lot of attention will be paid to the base runners today by Beckett because Brantley showed you what could happen. He can steal it easily without a throw.
And again, Orlando just trying to shoot it the other way, fouls it back.
I think they see that, and that's why they want to try and run it inside on him and don't let him give him something to extend the arms or the hands.
Orlando's a professional hitter. I mean, he knows how to hit. He knows what he needs to do with the bat, and he's willing to sacrifice his bat and himself to get the job done. You don't find a whole lot of guys in lineups around baseball today that do that.
Oh, look at the jump.
What a great jump, and he hit him. He might have hit him on purpose.
No, it was a curveball. That was a curveball. That ball got away from him. But what a jump that Buck had. And with 2 strikes, the hitter, he's going to have to protect anyway. But it was a big curveball. Got him on the back. I'm not sure if it was the back or the helmet, to be honest with you. You can see the big curveball, and it hits him in the helmet. Yeah. No, it's not bad. He's okay. It wasn't bad. That was a curveball. It got away.
Still, he hit him on the back of the helmet. That couldn't have felt too good.
Well, that's why those helmets there. It doesn't hurt that much.
Well, easy for you to say.
It's not under long enough to hurt.
Cement
that
head.
much. Yeah.
Hey, these guys wear ear flaps. We never used to wear flaps.
Oh, here we go. 2 on, nobody out. Matt Laporta.
That's back in the day of Iron Men and wooden ships, wasn't it?
Well, no. A lot of times, you were allowed to do that. You can't do that anymore. Now the kids have to wear two-ear flaps.
Down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt Laporta, 5 homers on the year, 10 doubles, 1 triple. $16 extra base hits, 22 runs driven in for Laporta. He's got 2 on and nobody out here in the second. And he shoots it foul the other way.
It looks like that might be the approach of the Indians hitters tonight, going up there and trying to stay in the middle of the field and off Beckett, because Cabrera's done that, Chu did that, Laporta's done it. He shows that.
I don't mind that approach whatsoever. I mean, you fight that fastball off, and eventually you're going to get that cutter, you're going to get that splitter, or you're going to get something a little bit slower than 94. Right now, he's going to try and get him out with a breaking ball away like he started him off with, I think.
And the 1-2 is a breaking ball that is a called 3rd strike. 3 Ks for Beckett, 1 down here in the second.
Yeah, he started him off, and Laporta, that he missed his fastball. He fouled it off anyway, and he comes right back. That's the slow pitch. That's about 75, 76 miles per hour, and it just locks him up.
Let's join Katie with him right now with more on Jack Hanahan facing Josh Beckett here.
Yeah, well, you guys mentioned earlier Josh Beckett lights out in the month of May, 0.39 ERA. And Jack Hanahan and I were speaking in the clubhouse earlier. He said the key to getting a piece of Beckett tonight is to be patient, but be aggressive. Be patient as in don't swing at what Beckett wants you to swing at, but be aggressive enough to immediately take advantage of anything he might leave up in the zone, guys.
Well, Jack Hanahan. See, I mentioned this to Mike earlier. So many times late in the ball game, it's the guy who gets the game-winning hit that we talk about who gets all the glory. Jack Hanahan's had some big hits here lately to start rallies or to sustain rallies. So he's been in the middle of some Indians comebacks here lately.
He's done a good job. I mean, he really has hit to what his job calls for at that at bat, and leading the inning off, he's a little more patient and will take a walk, gets in a hitter situation. He's not afraid to swing the bat, so he's done a good job.
The 1 pitch.
To see Hanahan. See, now Beckett's he's going to work on him. Started him off fastball away, runs the cutter inside, and now he's sitting 0-2. I would like to see Jack hit right-handers a little more to the left side, to third base side. He gets pull happy.
Jack, you're exactly right. Jack gets in trouble, and his weight really pulls him off the plate and causes his swing to get long. In spring training, he talked a lot about staying in on the plate and using his hands, and it paid off for him. I like to see him get back to it too,
right.
Rick. I think you're right.
The 0-2 pitch a little bit outside. 2 on, 1 out here in the second as the Indians look to jump on top.
You don't get many opportunities against Beckett. As I told you, righties are hitting 179, lefties hitting 180. He's not going to give up a lot of hits in a row. So you've got to take advantage of everything. You got the base hit, the hit batter. That's an inning you want to take advantage of.
Swung on and missed, and Beckett gets back-to-back strikeouts after putting the first 2 on here in the inning.
Took something off. It might have been a little split there. You can see it going straight down, 89 miles per hour. Good pitch. He started him outside, went inside. And, he took Jack to school right there in that at-bat.
Everybody talks about Beckett's stuff, and he does have great stuff. He really does have great stuff. But you look at the way he commands his pitches and he hits his locations. That takes that good stuff and makes it just darn nearly unhittable. And we saw it in that at-bat. We've really seen it in the last 2 at-bats, Laporta's and Hanahan's. He just absolutely overmatched him with his command.
Ezekiel Carrera, big swing, comes up empty. 0-1 the count here with 2 down, 2 men aboard here in inning number 2.
He's got 5-0-2, 1-2 counts. That's what makes him unhittable, because he can really expand the strike zone then. That's why he has 4 strikeouts already.
But it's going to be another 20-pitch inning for Josh Beckett. This is number 20 coming up right here. The last time he faced the Indians, it wasn't that he got banged around, but he made over 100 pitches in just 5 innings, and the Indians were able to get into the bullpen early.
He walked 4 in that game also, so
yeah.
He was throwing a lot of pitches early. Walked 4, and he struck out 4. Well, he already has the 4 punch-outs. We're only in the 2nd inning. And he has walked 1, and that was leadoff man Michael Brantley.
Two-strike pitch. Outside. Beckett taking a long time, as he does with runners on base. And on the 1-2 pitch, it's a little bit outside again.
Still trying to get a feel for that curveball.
Well, I would bet we're about to see the cutter or the split end.
Yeah, they don't want to go in there with a fastball. Little guy with the short swing and a speedster.
Taking their time, and now Varitek's just going to go out and talk face to face. Basically, he's going out there, what do you want to throw right here? Instead of me trying to guess back here, let's just get on the same page. Although as much as they've worked together over the years, you'd think he'd already know.
No, he knows. Sometimes those pitchers just sit up there and they just wait and wait. You know, they won't answer you.
Kind of like my grandkids.
The 2-2. Carrera punches it straight up the middle. It's through. Coming around third. Travis Buck to the plate. And he is safe. Out at third is Orlando Cabrera. And the inning is over. But Buck did cross home plate before Cabrera was tagged out at third. And the Indians have a 1-0 lead. Tune later in the game to see our Miller taste greatness moment. Carl Crawford, Drew Sutton, and Jacoby Ellsbury due up for Boston here in inning number 3. And before Crawford steps in, want to send out some very special birthday wishes tonight to Catherine Morfcheck in Niles, Ohio, celebrating her 100th birthday.
Wow, happy birthday.
She's been an avid Indians fan her whole life. And she's got her days. I mean, when you're 100, you pretty much come and go as you please, right?
You think?
You don't have to answer to anybody. So she's got a program. She listens to polka in the morning, watches the Tribe in the evening, and plays bingo in between.
Perfect. Perfect.
And he got Crawford on the arm with that pitch. So
I wonder how you get 100 candles on a cake.
It better be a big cake.
You just put one in, one big one.
Each team has had a player hit. There was a double hitter that hit Crawford, and the ricochet nailed Santana. That brings up Drew Sutton. Runner goes. Santana with a throw down to second. Not in time. Crawford got a good jump. And he has tremendous speed. His 7th steal of the year. He didn't waste any time.
No, sirree. Hit the wrong guy. He does not waste any time. Terrific jump. Nothing really Santana could do. He made it a lot closer than I thought.
That ball's down. He's out.
Yeah.
Fouled back by Sutton.
But you got to be very aware, even though there's a left-handed hitter up, you got to make him stop out at second base, and Cabrera's sitting right in his back pocket.
And the 1-1 fouled back. Runner at second, nobody out here for Boston, top of the third. 1-2 pitch. And Sutton gets a piece of it to stay alive. Both the Indians and the Red Sox recently designated a pitcher for assignment. Boston designated Hideki Okajima for assignment on Friday. He cleared waivers and then was assigned to AAA Pawtucket. The Indians designated Justin Germano for assignment, and today he was outrighted to AAA Columbus. The 1-2. Big chopper to second base. Orlando Cabrera will throw out Sutton, but now the Red Sox get the tying run to third base with 1 out here in the 3rd. Let's join Katie with him once again downstairs.
Hey, Matt, I'm hanging out with the McIntyre family. We want to get your family out here to the ballpark. The Indians have a great deal. The KeyBank Grand Slam 4-pack, 4 tickets, food, 4 Indians caps, and parking all in one affordable package. Log on to Indians.com and get your KeyBank Grand Slam 4-pack. Guys, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Katie. 1 on, 1 out. Jacoby Ellsbury to the plate. Crawford at third base. Corner infield's even with the bags. Middle infielders back in normal depth. Ellsbury grounded to short his first time up.
I'm sure in this situation with the speed of Crawford, you go on contact where you look for anything on the ground ball, even if it's hit to third or first. If you go, he's got a good chance, if it's not directly one hopper right at him, of making it.
At the knees for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Fausto with a 1-1 pitch. Went inside and knocked him back. Ellsbury trying to get that tying run home from third for Boston. The Indians are trying to keep him in a slump against the Tribe this year. Swung on and missed. It's 2-2.
Well, Manny must feel real confident in the fact that the Indians are going to score more runs than just one tonight. The other option he would have had is to play the infield in, try to choke that run off the plate. With Beckett on the mound, one run can be a big difference. But it depends on what the manager's feeling at the time, and he feels good about his offense, obviously, which I don't blame him.
2-2, got a piece of it. Yeah, so many times you'll see, with nobody out, you play the infield back because you don't want to give up potentially a big inning. But with one out, then a lot of times you see him bring that infield in.
Well, I'm going to state the obvious here. Obviously, if they score a run, you've got to score two to get it back, to get back in the same position you were. So, you try to choke that off to keep that from happening. There's an old saying in baseball. And when I played for Billy Martin, Billy always used to say, the first 5 innings are yours. In other words, he wasn't going to play the infield in. He wasn't going to do a lot of maneuvering, a lot of different things. The first 5 innings, the last 4, you really play to stay away from, stay to choke off that one run. Early in the game, you play to stay away from the big inning.
3-2 fouled, first base side.
But the thinking in baseball really has changed over the years. I would say that over the last 10, 15, 20 years, you see more and more managers playing the infield in from the first inning on. And again, it goes back to that theory. If this one run scores, I've got to score 2 to make up for it. So you take your chances even early in the ball game.
Baseball has really moved more towards the statistical analysis side of the game in the last 10 to 15 years.
Baseball's a game of statistics. I mean, we can sit there and discuss it and cuss it all you want, and whether you like it or not, it is a game built on numbers.
And the probability of outcomes.
Exactly. And you watch all the great managers. I sat there and watched Earl Weaver, Gene Mauch. I watched Chuck Tanner, Tony La Russa, Billy Martin, Earl Weaver, and all these guys. They all played the percentages. If you've got the talent to win every night, if your team has a better than even chance of winning every night, if you play the percentages in the course of a 162 game year, your talent's going to tell at the end, and you're going to be there where you want to be.
Right now, Carmona's looking for that double play ball. You talk about statistical probability. Last night, Chris Perez on the hill with runners at first and third, and Carl Crawford at the plate. The statistical probability of him hitting into a double play was probably not that great.
That made run 0 probably. You're right.
Exactly what happened to end the game.
I don't think this guy is going to be on first base very long. I don't think he's going to be off and running here soon. That'll keep him out of the double play.
Lowry struck out his first time up Carmona after walking Ellsbury. Falls behind Lowry. And another step off, but nothing happening. Next pitch now will be number 40 for Carmona. He came into this third with only 23 through the first 2 frames. But after hitting Crawford and walking Ellsbury, 1-0 pitch, rope deep foul down the right side, and that evens the count. Terry Francona's team has been playing much better baseball of late. Even with their loss last night, they still have won 8 of their last 10. But with both New York and Tampa Bay losing last night, Boston had a chance to jump into sole possession of first place in the East. But the Tribe's late rally took that away from them. Carmona's 1-1 pitch. Runner goes at first, and it's hit in the air to center. Deep. Carrera back on the track. He makes the catch at the base of the wall, and that will tie the game. Crawford scores, and Ellsbury scampers back to first. So Jed Lowry with a long fly ball to center field, his 21st RBI on the year.
Good thing he was running. You know, that way he would have been able to go back and tag up to go in to get himself into scoring position, but he was off on the run. Stayed at second base. They will tie the game. So the hit batter comes back to hurt Carmona.
That'll bring up Adrian Gonzalez. Rounded out to second his first time up. And a foul ball here. Missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gonzalez came in with a .357 average against right-handed pitchers on the year. And he falls behind here, a ball and 2 strikes to Carmona. Fausto getting a little help from the hometown crowd here. As he tries to work through this 3rd inning, Boston has come back to tie it on a sac fly. And the 1-2 runner goes, pitches inside, throw down, not in time. Great jump again. Ellsbury with his 16th stolen base of the year. Santana really had no shot there.
You know, when these guys, I mean, you talk about Crawford, you talk about Ellsbury, he's 2 of the fastest guys in the league. If they get a jump, you can forget about it. You're not going to have a chance to throw them out.
Now the 2-2 fouled back. Fausto with a 2-2. Straightens him up, full count. Well, he's made a lot of pitches here. 24 pitches in the inning. And the Red Sox don't have a hit. He's hit a batter and he's walked one.
He's having a tough time commanding his fastball to the inside part of the plate to the left-handers. Can't get in there, and he hasn't thrown him for strikes. He's backed him off, but he can't throw it for a strike.
Payoff pitch. And a base hit down the right field line. Red Sox take the lead. Hung him a breaking ball, and Gonzalez whacked it into the right field corner. 2-1 Boston. Gonzalez with his 42nd RBI on the year.
So the first hit in the inning, and looked like a changeup. And you don't want to leave that in the middle of the plate or inside. If that was a fastball, it would have been much better off. That was a changeup. And you can see he turns on it and hits it right down the line. Speeds up his bat.
Change up inside is not a good place to put a change up.
Not for left-handers. No sirree. Not to this guy. So the first hit in the inning, and the Red Sox come back and take a lead. So they answer that one run that the Indians put on the board.
So Carmona will now have to face Kevin Youkilis with a runner in scoring position and 2 down. And it's low, ball 1. Fausto laboring through this 3rd inning. 1-0 delivery to Youkilis is low again. 2 balls, no strikes. Fausto wants a new baseball. Three balls, no strikes. Left-handed hitting David Ortiz waits on deck. He finds the zone. This will be his 30th pitch of the 3rd inning. That's hit well deep to right field, but Chu back has room, and the inning is over. But the Red Sox come back with 2 to take the lead, 2-1. Red Sox lead it. Bottom of the 3rd here at Progressive Field. Michael Brantley to lead it off. Then it's Asdrubal Cabrera and Shin-Soo Choo. Brantley walked in the 1st, stole a 2nd, and was stranded there. Tap towards 2nd. Drew Sutton throws him out, 1 away. Our trivia question tonight brought to you by AT&T. Last Indian shortstop with 90+ runs batted in a season. As Asdrubal Cabrera struck out in the 1st. And he takes a strike. As Drupal, 10 homers, 34 runs batted in already this year. Pretty good bet that he'll be headed to the All-Star game.
Well, yeah, we still got the month of June, but you're right. The kind of start he's had, can certainly see why.
The 1-1 pitch. Broke his bat. Rolls it to second. Another easy out. 2 down. Let's go back to the studios right now. Al Pawlowski has his first in-game update tonight.
All right, Matt, Rick, Mike, couple of young pitchers on the hill tonight. Danny Duffy against Zach Britton in Baltimore. Royals and Orioles, advantage Royals so far. Alex Gordon here with his 5th home run of the season. KC in the lead 2-0. They're in the 4th inning at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thanks, Al. Here is Shin-Soo Choo. He fouled out to left in the first inning. Josh Beckett laboring through the first 2 innings, but giving up just 1 run, trying to make it a quick 3rd. Bounced in front of the plate. Now the 1-1 to Choo. And a called strike over the outside part of the plate puts him in a hole. Fastball sails wide. Count evens at 2-2. Beckett's got that full arsenal, and he's showing him just about everything tonight.
Yeah, he mixes his pitches well. He started him off with a slow curve ball. He comes in, he goes away, that show pitch away, and then he runs the cutter inside with 2 strikes. Anywhere from 75 to almost 95. He'll get it up to 94.
Choo rifles it right back through the box.
Well, he stayed back and used a big part of the field, right back up the middle. He will get the Indians' 3rd hit. All Indians' hits have been singles.
And the 2-out hit keeps the inning alive. And it will bring up Carlos Santana.
Little 2-seamer there. Going away and goes right back through the box.
Now with that hit now, Choo has hit in 10 of his last 11. Santana called out on strikes to end the first inning. Wouldn't at all be surprised to see Choo running to try to get into scoring position with 2 outs. Varitek does not throw as well as he once did. Down low, and the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. A couple of birthday wishes tonight go out to Bonnie Duffin in Avon, Ohio. And also Dan Demery celebrating his 57th birthday in Columbus. (2-1) Boston, bottom of the 3rd. Indians with a runner at first. That's Choo, held by Gonzalez. And the 1-1 to Santana. Good pitch in for a strike. Good breaking ball. Quick toss over, but Chu not that far off the
They
back.
figure with 2 strikes now, you're gonna send them over. That's why they're gonna pay attention a little more. Try and help Santana in this at bat.
He takes off,
Yeah,
pitches up and away, and the throw got
Easy
him.
pitch to throw
I'll tell
on.
you what, that was a good throw by Varitek, right on the money. And Chu is erased to end the inning. Two-one, Boston on top. 4th inning here at Progressive Field. And Fausto Carmona will go to work on David Ortiz. Ortiz doubled to right center off Carmona in the 2nd. And a foul ball evens the count of 1-1.
I want to send along our congratulations to John and Sue Wilgus, celebrating their 36th anniversary. And of course, John works out at the door at the press box here. Terrific guy. So to Sue, congratulations.
Now the 1-1 pitch. So does that mean when he gets home tonight, she'll open the door for him?
Maybe, yes. Well, they have 7 kids. They'll find one of the kids to do it as well.
He's so polite. He opens the door for everyone up
He
here.
is
in
one
the
of the
press box.
nicest guys you'll ever meet.
2-1 delivery. In the air, center field. Ezekiel Carrera makes the grab. And we've got 1 out here in the 4th. Minor league report, as always, brought to you by Kia. Zach McAllister, minor league co-player of the week. 2 starts, got a win, and an ERA of 0.69. He's a perfect 7-0 on the year for the Clippers. J.D. Drew bounced one back to the mound his first time up. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Birthday wishes sending out to Russ Loudon of Salem, Ohio. Dave Miles of Uricville turning 80. And Jaime Lipton of Beechwood turning 78. Happy birthday to each and every one.
Now the 1-2. Swung on and missed. J.D. Drew strikes out. That's 3 Ks for Carmona. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Visit STOHD.com now and check out one of our preferred partners, Garfield 12323. They served Northeast Ohio for over 75 years with award-winning siding, windows, and roofing. For a free estimate, visit STOHD.com and click on the Garfield 12323 banner. Bouncer towards first. Laporta, the flip. And a quick 1-2-3-4 for Carmona and the try. 2-1 Boston. Two-1 Boston leads it as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Progressive Field. For the Tribe, Carlos Santana, Travis Buck, and Orlando Cabrera. Carlos Santana called out on strikes. His only time up, although he was at the plate in the 3rd when Chu was thrown out trying to steal to end the inning.
Well, with that 2-strike pitch that they threw when Chu was caught stealing, it was almost like a pitch out. A fastball up and away, an easy pitch for Veritek to throw on. And they could afford to do that because he was ahead in the count 1-2.
For Santana, it's almost like getting an extra at-bat in the game with no penalty.
Yes, it's a good play. I mean, you give one of your big guns, you give him a clean
right
slate and start over, and hopefully he does something with it.
That's why you sent him to protect him.
Yeah, Chu would feel a whole lot better about what happened if Santana drills one right here.
He would. And Boston was very aware of the same thing. You know, they were throwing over and stepping off.
And the 2-0 pitch. Up high, 3 balls, no strikes. Mike, this is the one thing we've noticed with Santana. Even through his struggles offensively, he's maintained a pretty good eye at the plate. I mean, he's been drawing a lot of walks. He's among the league leaders in base on balls. Or at least he was.
That's the one good thing. But if you watch him, is that he gets he goes to 2-0, 3-0, gets into a good hitter's count, deep in the count, good hitter's count, and then swings at a bad pitch. Doesn't swing at he didn't zero in, or as we say, keyhole the thing.
Yeah,
make sure it's right
young
there.
Hitters do.
He wants to get the bad head out, and he swings at bad pitches, and all of a sudden he's back in bad hitters counts and takes a good at bat and turns it into a so-so at bat or a bad at bat.
Travis Buck singled in the second and scored the Indians' only run.
They have had their leadoff man aboard 3 out of the 4 innings.
Our scoreboard update brought to you by your Northern Ohio Ford dealers in the all-new 2012 Ford Focus. Ford, drive one. Fastball right over the outside corner to get ahead of Buck. Back out of play, and it's 0-2. Indians down 2-1. We are in the 4th inning. And now the 2-strike pitch from Beckett. A little bit wide of the mark. Boston skipper Terry Francona. His club got off to the 0-6 start after they were swept here in Cleveland by the Indians back in April. But since then, they have played very good baseball. Buck bounces to second. They get one there. The return throw not in time. And so a one-out base runner for Orlando Cabrera.
Well, follow the Indians with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit Indians.com for the details.
Orlando Cabrera hit by a pitch in the second. Boy, when the Indians have had base runners against Beckett this year, he has really changed the tempo of the game. Runner goes. Cabrera swinging a miss and the throw down. And they got him again. So Veritek has thrown out 2 consecutive would-be base stealers now.
Now hit and run there. Not really the steal in that situation. And he's up for the occasion, man. Throws out his second runner in as many innings. This will go 2-4 on the caught stealing, and it's right there.
I don't even think he. Well, yeah, he might have got him.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It's close enough. The ball beat him by a lot.
Two down and a 1-ball, 1-strike count for Cabrera. Chopped to third, foul. Kevin Youkilis talking it over with third base umpire Paul Emmel, who had the plate last night.
Paul didn't look like he's real sure, does he?
Down in the dirt. One ball, two strikes for Orlando Cabrera, who was plunked in the second when a breaking ball got loose from Josh Beckett. Caught him in the helmet. High pop on the infield to shortstop Lowry. 4 complete from Progressive Field. It's Boston 2, Cleveland 1. And by Panini's. Get overstuffed at any one of 18 locations in Northeast Ohio. Carl Crawford leads off the 5th inning for Boston, hit by a pitch and scored in the 3rd. Crawford, then Drew Sutton and Jacoby Ellsbury for the Red Sox. Here in inning number 5. Swung on and missed. And it's quickly 0-2.
Well, Foster had his easy 1-2-3 inning last inning. It'd be nice to build on that. Come back with another one.
2-strike delivery is in the dirt. Well, Dennis Eckersley got himself some headlines.
What happened?
Brian Fuentes lost his 7th game last night out of the Oakland A's bullpen, and afterwards he ripped his manager, Bob Guerin. And he said, among other things, that there's a lack of communication. He's not sure what his role is, when he's supposed to pitch, when he's not going to pitch. And Dennis Eckersley was on the A's flagship radio station, and you guys know Eck. He doesn't pull any punches. He said of Brian Fuentes' comments, quote, weak. If you fail, you fail. You don't throw the manager under the bus. You don't say what he said, period. He's been around too long to act like that. He makes a ton of money, and he's not the greatest closer in the universe, so zip it.
Okay.
He says it doesn't show a lot of respect for the manager. He said, if that was me with La Russa, are you kidding me? He'd have chopped my head off. Swing and a miss. Crawford strikes out. That's 4 Ks for Carmona.
I don't think Eck's ever been afraid of anything, has he?
No. I mean, he'll say that. You're right. And, you know, how do you rip the manager, man, when you're out there and you're pitching badly? He's got the right to use you any way he wants. You're lucky he's putting you in if you're not pitching very well.
I totally agree. It's always good to define roles and communicate with your players a lot, and a lot of times the player is unavailable to communicate with. A lot of communication goes on during batting practice, out in the field during BP, and or in the clubhouse. You walk by and say hello and give them a chance to say something to you, and they don't say anything. You figure everything's okay. I'm sure that Brian had a lot of frustration going on and picked the easiest target he could figure, and figured it was a manager.
It might be the easiest target, but it's going to be the toughest one for him to get through.
I think he's going to be real sorry he picked on the manager.
Exactly. I'm sure there'll be an apology or something coming out soon.
Yeah, and exactly, too, because if there's a communication problem, if he's frustrated, then why wouldn't he have simply walked into Bob Guerin's office or camped himself in front of his door?
Good question.
And talked to him first before he blasted him in the media.
Exactly.
Good question. You can't say anything to the media nowadays, as many outlets that are out there now. You would want to keep it in-house. If you have an issue or you have a problem, keep it in-house.
Not going to get solved by going to the newspapers.
That's going to get worse. It's going to be blown out of proportion. And now, he may have said something that, came out in paper that he didn't really mean to say.
And it stands a real good chance of affecting the ball club's effort. Day in and day out. You got problems like that. Somebody calls out the manager. That's just. There's certain no-nos, and that's a real no-no.
Mike, I'm sure and when you're in the manager seat, you've got a lot of little fires
every day.
The key is not letting them become big, and this is a big fire now.
Yeah, it's a big fire right now. He should have said hello a couple of days in a row, I guess.
The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. 5 strikeouts for Carmona, 2 down here in inning number 5. If you like Indians baseball, high school sports, the MAC, Browns football, then you'll like Sports Time Ohio. And prove it by going to Facebook and get the latest programming information, or just tell us what you think. Check us out at facebook.com/STOHD. Jacoby Ellsbury has grounded out, and then in the third he walked, stole second, and scored the go-ahead run. Bounce to short as Dribble Cabrera, long throw, got him. Nice spinning effort by Dribble Cabrera, and the Red Sox go in order. Carmona has retired. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Progressive Field. 2-1 Boston on top. Matt Laporta to lead off for the Tribe. And he looks at a ball down low. Laporta called out on strikes. His first time up back in the second inning.
This is great, isn't the sunlight staying out till about 9 o'clock now?
Laporta with a base hit into left field to start the home half of the fifth for Cleveland. That's their fourth hit off Josh Beckett. Man, this is the fourth time in 5 innings, Rick, they've had their leadoff man aboard.
I know it. I mean, that's your goal is to try and get that leadoff man aboard. You can do more things with it. They just certainly haven't been able to add to it. A couple of guys thrown out. Base running, but Laporta gets a base hit. So, again, they will have the leadoff man aboard. And again, he gets deliberate anytime he's in the stretch.
There's a line drive to center. Ellsbury in to make the grab. And Hanahan is out number 1. Our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Ezekiel Carrera. RBI single had the Tribe on top briefly. Jed Lowry sac fly tied it, and then Adrian Gonzalez with an RBI double put Boston on top. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. One on, one out for Ezekiel Carrera. He had a good at bat back in that second inning in a 2-out situation and slapped that Josh Beckett pitch right back up the middle.
Beckett, I think, made a mistake and threw him that breaking ball, slow one, and put it to the inside part of the plate. He wanted him to reach for it a little bit, and I think he missed his location with it, middle in. And he did go right back up the middle with it.
Ezekiel showed a little pop in spring training. It was he was fun to watch. I mean, he's just he's got that exciting kind of speed.
Not a very big guy, is he?
No, he's not.
Came to the Indians in the Russell Branyan trade to Seattle.
Up and away. A ball and 2 strikes.
Shows him that fastball away.
And a line drive toward left center field, but Ellsbury with great speed able to run it down. And running around first was Laporta. And he'll easily be doubled off at first to end the inning. He obviously forgot how many outs there were. So, an embarrassing end to the fifth. It remains 2-1 Boston. area restaurants to pick up your Wahoo Bucks $5 discount coupons for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. Subway, where winners eat. Boston still on top 2-1 here in the 6th inning now. Jed Lowry, Adrian Gonzalez, and Kevin Youkilis due up for Boston. Lowry drove in a run in the 3rd with a sac fly. Actually hit that ball surprisingly a long way, given that he's not very big, and you got that wind blowing straight in from center field.
He's having a pretty solid year, though.
Yeah, he is. He's killing left-handers, too. From the right side of the plate, he is mashing. Hitting .451 from the other side of the plate. 2-strike pitch. Next pitch will be number 80 for Fausto Carmona here tonight. And the right-hander's 2-strike pitch. And wide of the mark. Carmona just had that, I wouldn't even call it really a wild spell, but he hit Crawford to start the 3rd. He walked Ellsbury. Just had trouble consistently throwing good pitches in that inning. And
well, with
Red Sox pieced it together for 2 runs.
I think when he had that leadoff man aboard, then his stride, when he got into his stretch, he just was inconsistent with it and had a tough time finding his zone.
I mean, he's only given up 2 hits in the game. But so many times already this year, this is the kind of game that we have witnessed where it's been so low scoring and so few hits that you've almost had to throw shutout baseball.
Well, he's involved with one last time in his last start against the the Red Sox here. 1-0 ball game. He did not get a decision. He had a 7 innings, 2-hit shutout. You look at the Indians this year; they have already won 6 games when they've scored 3 or less runs.
Yeah,
you know, so they're 6-11.
Swing and a miss. Carmona gets another strikeout. That gives him a half dozen on the night.
There you go. Swing over the top of it. 91 mile an hour. 2-seamer.
Well, we have definitely seen this year more pitching dominated games. I don't know if it's, it's not even Memorial Day, so I don't know if we're ready to go out there and just say that pitchers are dominating the game right now. But certainly you're not seeing a lot of 8-7 ball games or 9-8 games across the league. It seems like you better have some starting pitchers who can hold the other team down, because chances are your lineup's not going to score a whole lot of runs either.
That's right. You look at the scores around the league, and that's been the case. I mean, you look and see there's a 9-3 ball game the other day or something, but there are a lot of 4-3s, 2-1s, 3-0.
Well, the offense is definitely down.
Yeah.
This year, home runs are down. The offenses are down. Runs per game.
So to your point about the Indians, having so many wins with so few runs scored this year, it's unusual based on the the data that we go on from the past, but this year you're seeing more and more and more of that.
Well, you don't want to make any mistakes. They haven't given up any runs, like a lot of unearned runs,
Yeah.
you know, so you keep yourself into ball games and you always have an opportunity to come back and win it. And we've witnessed it this year in this ballpark. If you give your team a chance where you don't have to come back, another thing that they've done well, Mike, this year, 3 runs or less. They haven't given up 3-run innings. You know, and they've only given up, I think 11 or 12 3-run innings, or maybe 15. But they've scored many more 3-run innings than they've given up, and their record shows it. It bears that.
Well, you know, one thing that's real indicative of a young ball club is the fact that they beat themselves more often than not. You know, and you know that's probably the one glaring difference between an established veteran ball club and a young inexperienced ball club. This is a young inexperienced ball club, relatively inexperienced, but they haven't done that. They've gone out and they've made the routine play. Their fundamentals have been sound. They've executed when they've had to. They've hit the cutoff man. They've kept the double play in order.
Got the timely hit.
They've got the timely hit, and they've got outstanding pitching from both the starters and the bullpen, and that's made a huge difference.
Speaking of outstanding pitching, Carmona. Top of the order for the Indians. Michael Brantley takes a strike. This will be the 3rd time through the order now for Josh Beckett. He's allowed 1 run on 4 hits.
Well, you can see why that ERA of his is down so low. He has mixed his pitches well. Doesn't give up. The most hits he's given up this year is 7 hits. It was at Baltimore in 6 innings. But boy, other than that, a 6 hit, a couple of 5 hits he gives up, a few hits. And all the Indians' hits today have been singles. They've had their leadoff man aboard.
And a bouncing ball to second. Sutton retires Brantley. 1 away. Here's the answer to our AT&T trivia question tonight. Last Indian shortstop with 90 or more ribbies in a season.
Any idea who that would be, Grover?
Eddie Leon. No, I don't know who that is.
Eddie Leon. How about Julio?
I would say that's a good
playing
chance.
with.
Yeah.
1985.
I think that was about 2 days before I knocked him out.
Hopped back out of play.
Julio could play, couldn't he?
Yeah, he
My
could.
goodness
He was
gracious.
a
He
talented
could play.
guy.
And for a long time, yeah.
Didn't he end up playing for you back here?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
How strange that had to have been.
Well, you know, it wasn't too bad. I wondered how it was going to be, but Julio was fine. He really was fine. He treated me as the manager, which that's all you can ask.
He's probably still playing somewhere.
He played what? There was 51,
48.
48.
So I think so.
2 down for Shin-Soo Choo. Our Miller Taste Greatness moment. See if Mike remembers this. He might.
Oh, I know I do.
Oh, yeah.
How can you forget that? Got your cork right there.
Maybe you can. Maybe you can spill the beans. Maybe you can. What was the chatter going on that prompted Albert to do that?
Oh, Kevin Kennedy had his bat checked.
Right.
But was there dialogue back and forth, or was just that?
No, just out of the blue. He hit the ball, and all of a sudden they confiscated the bat and took it back. And Albert, if you remember, was hot at that time. He's swinging the bat really well, and that was a good bat. And I'm not saying Albert was superstitious, but I was, and I wanted him to keep that bat. And Kevin Kennedy had it done, and so Albert said, "It's not the cork. It's because I got big muscles."
That's right. Right over the top step. Right there. Here's your cork right here.
That's right. And I was glad to see that later in the play, in the replay, because I didn't know Albert had done that, because I was screaming so loud at Kevin Kennedy, calling him everything I could think of, that I was not all there.
None of those things we could repeat now.
No, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
No.
The 2-1. Swung on and missed.
Yeah, if my mama had heard me saying the things I said that night, I wouldn't have been able to come to the house, and if I had, she'd have washed my mouth out with every piece of soap she could find.
Beckett, 3 shakes, now he nods. 2-2. Down low. Full count.
They take Albert's bat back into an X-ray machine back here. They take it back to the X-ray, then they cut the thing in half to make sure it didn't have going. It didn't.
What's the point of X-raying it then if you're going to cut it open?
Just said that was.
You need surgery. We got to fix it.
That's right.
Hairline fracture.
Payoff pitch to Choo. Got him looking. 5th strikeout for Beckett. 6 complete. It's still 2-1 Boston.
4-1 right now. And tomorrow wraps up this homestand with Boston. Come on out here. We're filling the house for charity. $1 from every ticket will go to support the American Red Cross of Greater Cleveland. We also have lunch in 3 innings. $15 gets you in the door and gives you a $10 food voucher. It's an awesome deal. Come have lunch with us, support the tribe, and support the Red Cross. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
All right, thanks, Katie. 7th inning, 2-1 Boston. David Ortiz to lead off against Fausto Carmona. He starts the inning at 90 pitches on the night. His counterpart, or his foe, Beckett, is in about the same situation. Ezequiel Carrera misplayed it, and it's going to be 2 bags for Ortiz as he slides in safely. I don't know what happened there. Carrera might have broke too deep on the ball.
He did. He was playing deep, and he thought that ball was going to carry to him. It might have had a little top spin on him. And he let that ball, watch it sink at the end. See, he's going back, and then all of a sudden he's got to put the brakes on and never got there. That was a misplay. He coming back in now. That ball should have been right at him. We'll see how they score it. They give him a hit. That's kind.
And J.D. Drew steps in now. 0 for 2 on the night. Strike over the outside corner. Fausto Carmona with a 1-1 to Drew. By the mound, goes to second. Cabrera throws out Drew. Ortiz goes to third.
Now you bring your infield in, don't you, with Big Bobby running.
Yeah, you do now.
You're down a run. You're late in the ball game, 7th inning.
Beckett's nasty.
Yeah, you're having a tough time scoring. Yeah. Absolutely right. And there's Smitty. Go halfway. And you can go halfway because of the speed of the runner at third base. You can move back a little bit more and give you a little better range out there on the infield because he's not going to go on contact. He's going to make sure the ball gets through. And you've got a guy that will top the ball and hit it on the ground. He's going to be looking for something he can try and hit in the air. Never mind.
Drilled deep right and
hit it.
Gone.
Yeah, hit the pole.
Jason Varitek with his first home run of the year. It's a 2-run shot right down the line, and that makes it a 4-1 Boston lead.
Well, 2 big runs there. And that one caught the pole, and it ricochets down. And that ball, you see, it hits the pole, comes straight down, and then deflects back on the field. He was able to get a fastball from Carmona and hit the pole.
2 down.
Well, you get the ball down, it's probably a ground ball. Hopefully at somebody. Get the ball up. Like you said earlier, Rick, a sinker, the higher you throw it in the zone, the more it flattens out. You don't have any depth to the break. And Varitek hit it the way he should have.
Yeah, he did. He got a ball elevated that he could hit up in the air, and fortunately for him, it stayed fair.
Down low to Drew Sutton, who is 0 for 2. Carmona had retired 10 straight Red Sox hitters coming into the inning, but boy, that misplay by Carrera opened the door for Boston, and they kicked through it. And after Varitek clobbers the 2-run homer. One ball, one strike. activity in the Indians bullpen. Frank Herman from the right side, Rafi Perez the lefty. A one-hop smash to second. Orlando Cabrera throws him out to end the inning. Stretch time in Cleveland, 4-1. Red Sox lead it. Time now for the Cleveland Clinic 7th inning stretch. Indians fans, get up and move it. Grill.com for a location near you. Home half of the 7th inning. Josh Beckett, like Carmona, starts the inning at 90 pitches. Carmona gave up 2. Let's see if the Indians can get something back here against Beckett. Their only run came back in inning number 2. Down low. Down low. Santana working himself into a good hitter's count. He was called out on strikes to end the 1st inning, and then he walked to lead off the 4th. And remember, the Indians had their leadoff man 4 out of the first 5 innings tonight, but only once were they able to cash in. Up high.
Well, every time Beckett's gotten in trouble tonight, he's always made a pitch. When he's had to make a pitch, he's done that. That's what makes him, among other things, really special.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. He sits down, runners on base. He really buckles down.
Three balls and 2 strikes for Carlos Santana here. As he tries to jumpstart the Tribe here in inning number 7. The payoff pitch popped him up on the infield. And Beckett calling for it. He'll be called off by Youkilis, who comes in to make the grab, 1 away. Let's go back to the studios once again for an in-game update. Here's Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, Carlos Quentin off to a good start for Texas, or rather for Chicago in Texas tonight. First inning, it's a solo home run. Then here in the third, a 3-run homer. He's been to the plate twice tonight. He's 2 for 2 with 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in. 4-2 White Sox over Texas, third inning. Back to you, Mike.
All right, thanks, Al. Here is Travis Buck. He singled and scored the Indians' only run back in the second. And Beckett goes at him with a first pitch strike. Beckett closing in on 100 pitches here this evening. He's gone as many as 125 pitches in a game this year. And Terry Francona wanted to stay away from Daniel Bard tonight. So this may be one of those nights where Beckett goes a little longer than maybe he would normally. Of course, that will ultimately depend on how the Indians fare. The 0-2. They wrap a couple of hits off of him, string something together, and that could change Terry Francona's thinking in a hurry.
What's made Beckett so tough tonight, 11-0-2, 1-2 counts. So he's been ahead of many hitters. And he's been able to just work his way around them.
His 100th pitch of the night is popped up foul. And that should get out of play, and it will. I guess that's the interesting thing, Rick, is that, you know, he's been ahead of so many hitters. And yet it hasn't been a smooth game for him, though. Well, I guess that's part of that has to do with the fact the Indians did have their leadoff man aboard 4 out of the 5 innings, so he was working out of the stretch.
That's like Grover's saying, he made his pitch every time he asked
when he had to.
Yeah, when you got to make your pitch, he comes back and he makes it. They haven't been able to string anything together. The only time they've had 2 hits in an inning was the second, and that's when they scored. And it took a 2-out single to score Buck. Because after he hit Cabrera, you remember with the curveball, he came right back and struck out back-to-back hitters.
Yeah.
So he settled down there, and then he just made one mistake with the curveball.
That's strikeout number 6 for Beckett. 2 down here in the 7th inning. The Gathering Place supports, educates, and empowers individuals and families who have been touched by cancer. And every time the Indians homer, Rick and I are making a donation of $5 to the Gathering Place. And Great Clips is donating $50 per dinger. Almost $3,000 raised so far this year. For more information, visit touchedbycancer.org. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. Orlando fouls it back out of play. Josh Beckett's 2-strike pitch. Right back to what you talked about, 0-2, 1-2 to almost every hitter.
And he messes around for a couple of pitches, tries to get you to swing at his pitch. If you don't, you get back into the count. Then he's been making his pitch.
The 1-2 delivery. Almost got him again.
Same thing, but the breaking ball. He caught him on the helmet back in the 2nd inning with the breaking ball. And there's Cabrera having to take the elevator down
to the bottom floor.
Down to the bottom floor, man, in the batter's box.
And on the 2-2, it's up and away, full count.
Well, what we've seen from Beckett is real typical of pitchers of his ilk, his talent level, is that if you're going to get the good ones, you need to get them early. Because the longer they pitch, the more they settle in. They find pitches that are working for them, aren't working for them. Obviously, the curveball's not working for him tonight. He's gone away from it, throwing fastballs, cutters, and splits.
Yeah.
And you don't get them early, they get tough.
Up high, ball 4.
A
A
good
2-out
at-bat.
walk keeps the inning alive.
That's very good, just to keep yourself alive and get on base and keep it going. The third walk for Beckett.
It'll bring up Matt Laporta. Matt Laporta tonight has been called out on strikes, and he singled in the left field back in the 5th inning. Checked his swing and fouls it back. One ball and 1 strike with 1 on and 2 down here in the home half of the 7th. Tribe trailing it by 3. This next pitch will be number 110 for Josh Beckett. And a bouncer foul up the third base side. Orlando Cabrera's at first. He takes off, and the pitch is a fair ball. Euclid kicks it into foul ground. Cabrera digging for third, and he's in there safe.
How about that?
Indians at the corners with 2 down here in the 7th as Laporta picks up an infield single. He hit the ball hard, and actually Euclid did well to keep that from going down into the left field corner.
Yeah, Euclid just saved a run right there with diving and knocking it down. But that was good hustle by Orlando. He was off and had the base stolen. Now the ball is hit, and he just continued to go to third base, realizing that Euclid was going to have to make the play on him, and he slides in right before he can. Really a good play to knock it down. And he knows Cabrera's coming. Can I beat you? No. He slides in safe, so first and third. Terry Francona comes to the mound. That'll do it for Josh Beckett tonight.
Beckett's night comes to an end. We'll see if the Indians can get to the Red Sox bullpen. Our call to the pen brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world. this year. He has struck out 9 in 5 2/3 innings.
Well, it seems like he's going to be your typical left-handed matchup guy. Coming on, Josh Beckett. Nice game tonight. A little upset he couldn't get him out and finish 7 innings. But
Jack Hanahan, who has hit .387 against left-handers this year, looks at ball 1. Jack has gone 12 for 31 against southpaws with 2 homers and 8 driven in. Tribe trailing at 4-1 with 2 out in the bottom of the 7th. Rich Hill misses outside, 2-0. Left-handed hitting Ezequiel Carrero waits on deck. Boston's bullpen is busy. Should Maniac to go to his bench if Hanahan keeps this rally alive.
Yeah, the crowd's starting to get into it a little bit, aren't they?
The 2-0 pitch. That one floats in for a strike.
Well, you can see the arm angle from this left-hander and the sliders that he's throwing. You can see where he's a matchup guy against lefties. He looks like he could be tough to hit.
That one broke over the plate, and the count evens at 2-2.
Yeah, pick up his arm angle. It's from the side, and you can see nothing but slider. Looks like his arm's going to fall off.
Well, that's got to be his big pitch. He's sort of 4 times now. He threw it 2-0, threw it 2-1.
Doesn't look like he's going to get a fastball.
No.
You're going to have to get him on the breaking ball.
The 2-2, a throw to first instead.
That always used to drive me absolutely nuts. You got a 3-run lead. You got runners on first and second. The important out you got is at the plate. That's the guy you want to get out. And
right.
you wait and you sit there and you got
around.
back in the count and you mess around with the runner at first base. It doesn't make any difference if that guy scores. If Laporta scores,
Right.
they're still ahead by 1.
The 2-2. Fouled back. Hanahan a good cut. Indians have actually out-hit Boston 5-4 now, but they trail on the scoreboard 4-1. Hanahan awaiting the 2-2 pitch, and he rings him up, does home plate umpire Rob Drake. Hanahan does not like the call, but the Indians are done. We go to the 8th. to the 8th inning. Top of the order, Jacoby Ellsbury takes a strike from Fausto Carmona. This next pitch will be his 100th of the night. Indians bullpen is busy. Bouncer towards short as Drupal Cabrera throws him out. Our in-game box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-In Value Guarantee. The Red Sox don't have many hits tonight, but that big 2-run home run by Jason Varitek that hit the right field foul pole. Oh, what a grab by Laporta. A line shot that Matt made a terrific grab on to take at least a base hit away from Jet Lowry, and it might have been 2.
Yeah, that was a nice job. That's just reaction. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. He's got to go to his right, and you can see you don't have time to take a step. You move over there. He snags it. Good play. Takes a base hit away from Jet Lowry.
And now Adrian Gonzalez, 1 for 3. He drove in a run with a double in the 3rd. And a routine bouncer to short as Drupal Cabrera. Or excuse me, that's Jack Hanahan with the shift on. Throws him out. It's a 5-pitch 8th inning for Fausto Carmona. But Boston still leads it 4-1.
Here's Wonder Woman.
Shelley Duncan now off the bench to pinch hit here, leading off the home half of the 8th inning. Ezekiel Carrero was 1 for 2. He drove in the only run of the night for the Indians in the 2nd. It's up high, 2 balls, no strikes. Ball 3. Michael Brantley, you see, waiting on deck. And he comes at him with a strike. Three-one delivery now, and Duncan taking again. It's a strike, full count. So from 3-0 to 3-2 now. And the payoff pitch is low, ball 4. So Shelly Duncan is aboard to start the bottom of the 8th inning.
And that was a great at bat by Shelly, and here's the reason. He went to 3. The whole idea is for him to get on base. He's leading. Right. He need base runners. He goes to 3-0. You've got as a leadoff hitter in this situation, I believe, and I think I'm right on this. You have to take that all the way to a 3-2 count. You're not swinging the bat because you've maximized. By doing that, you maximize your chances of getting on base. You've taken advantage of every opportunity you've had to get on base. It comes down to the 3-2 pitcher, either swinging or it's a ball, and he got on base and it worked. I think it was a great at bat.
He laid off it. I agree. You need base runners. He could have hit one out and give you one quick run. There's no rally. At least you get guys on base.
Now Michael Brantley trying to get aboard to bring that tying run to the plate again for the Tribe. Brantley 0 for 2. He walked back in the first inning. Fouled right back. No balls, 2 strikes. Right-hander Jonathan Papelbon, their closer, is already up here in the 8th inning. That's how badly Terry Francona wants this game. The 0-2. Almost hit him. Ball gets away from Varitek, down to second. Goes Shelly Duncan. Pretty sure that'll be a wild pitch. Might have crossed him up, I'm not sure.
Well, it was bad enough. He was looking outside, and he throws it way inside. That missed his target by 3 feet. So that has to be a wild pitch. As Varitek chases it down, goes out and talks to his pitcher with a runner in scoring position.
Turned out Varitek's arms were just a little too short.
Yeah, right. He could have been Dirk Nowitzki behind the plate, and he wouldn't have been able to catch that one.
Now the 1-2 to Brantley. Hit in the air to center. Coming in is Ellsbury. And he almost ran into Crawford, who makes the catch. Boy, that was nearly a nasty collision.
Well, they get the job done. Well, normally when you're the center field and you're yelling all the way, you're going to get it's your ball. But in comes Crawford. They weren't going to let that drop. They make the catch.
So with 1 out, it's Dribble Cabrera to the plate. 0 for 3 tonight.
He's going to be
up high, ball 1.
He's going to be happy to face anybody but Josh Beckett. Beckett did a number on him tonight in his 3 at-bats. As Dribble saw 8 pitches, 7 of them were strikes. Had a couple of swings and misses. And our crack staff, Tom Bochenik, said coming into this game he had 71 pitches seen. He had only swung and missed at 1.
He messed up his average, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He had 2 swings and misses tonight.
I got a book at home called A Book of Totally Useless Information.
Is Teflon Tom on the cover?
Teflon Tom is the author.
The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Evens the count, and it just goes to further reinforce that old baseball theory that good pitching and well executed pitches are going to beat the good hitter. I know you guys don't like to hear that.
Night in and night out, it does. Hey, listen, hitting is sexy. Pitching produces wins.
The set here on the 1-1.
I never looked at it that way before.
I haven't either until I was watching Beckett tonight.
Oh, throws it in the dirt, and Cabrera is called out at first. A close play.
Boy, that
is out number 2.
As soon as he let it go, I realized that was in the dirt. That was a good pick by Gonzalez. Look at him shaking his head. He held on to that ball. That would have brought the tying run to the plate. I mean, this one rifled into the dirt. He's lucky it was far enough out. It made it an easy hop for him.
That's exactly right. That wasn't a tough pick because it was so far out there.
Right,
that
I didn't realize that. He rifled that one right into the ground.
Shin-Soo Choo. 1 ball, no strikes. With 2 down here in the 8th. Hill has already made 20 pitches since the left-hander came in to relieve Josh Beckett, and it's fouled right back. The 1-1. That's a strike. Kansas City leads Baltimore 3-2. They're in the 7th. Tampa Bay leads Detroit 6-5. They're also in the 7th. And the White Sox are in a rain delay now, leading Texas 4-2. Minnesota and Seattle all tied at 2. They're in the 6th in the Twin Cities. 1-2 to Choo. Line toward left field. Crawford racing in, makes the catch. And the inning is over. 8 complete. It remains 4-1 in favor of the Red Sox. Into the ball game in left field, and Michael Brantley slides over to center.
Wonder if Carmona here is on just for this hitter with the 2 lefties, Ortiz and Drew, to follow with Perez up in the bullpen.
Sure could be. It makes sense.
Yeah,
do it that way.
Sure does, because Ortiz has 2 doubles today off Fausto, although one of them should have been caught.
Kevin Youkilis 0 for 3 here tonight. Two balls, no strikes.
Well, I tell you, if he loses him, he gets on base. I guarantee
That's
the left-hander is
automatic.
yeah.
There's a strike. He only needed 5 pitches to get through the 8th inning.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
You know an old saying, the candle burns brightest right at the end?
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Now the 2-1. Rounded up the middle, and it's into center field, and that is the first hit this year for Kevin Youkilis against the Indians. He was 0 for his first 16 this year against Tribe pitching, but that will end the night officially now for Fausto Carmona. We've got a timeout. Boston on top 4-1 here in the ninth. We're in the ninth inning. Red Sox have their leadoff man on, and left-hander Rafael Perez coming on in relief of Fausto Carmona, making his 20th appearance of the year. 20th appearance. Let's see. He has 11 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 16 innings of work. 4 runs allowed by Carmona tonight in 8 innings of work, and of course he's responsible for the leadoff man here in the ninth. Most nights, you'd be patting him on the back and saying, great job.
When you look at that start, it was really not a good start, because you go back to that 3rd inning where he had a little control issues. He hit the leadoff guy. They stole a base. They ended up scoring on a base hit. He scored actually on a ground out after the stolen base. They move him over. He scores, and then the other guy walks. He steals a base, and he scores on a base hit. So then the ball that hit the foul pole, the ball prior to that should have been caught, so he could have fared better.
Probably certainly deserved better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Youkilis isn't going anywhere.
Rip foul the other way. Ortiz with 2 doubles. One was legit. The other one, that's the one Rick was just talking about. Fly ball to center that Ezekiel Carrera just got caught racing back on, and the ball, like a parachute, came out of it. It just stopped in the middle of the grass. Dropped in front of him, and that proved to be big because 2 batters later, Varitek hit the home run off the foul pole. Raffy's 1-1 pitch. Got a piece. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is the play we're talking about back in the 7th inning, if you missed it earlier.
Well, he had a beat on it. You see, he was running back all the way, and he just didn't stop quick enough. Is that ball, you know, sometimes it has top spin, and I'm not saying the ball is going to be true every time, but it's certainly one that he should have made the catch on.
And the 1-2 pitch. Bounce to first. Laporta goes to second, and the ball is dropped. Oh, boy. The Indians have played so well defensively all season long. But now a couple of miscues here tonight.
Well, that's the third baseman over there trying to turn it because of the shift with David Ortiz. Another ball that should have been turned. It's not. Let's see the throw from Laporta. He gets it. It might have been a little low, but at least you got to catch it. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a catchable ball. Out of the glove, that'll go as an error on Hanahan. And so now the inning's starting to set up for Boston. They'll go pinch run for Ortiz.
J.D. Drew 0 for 3 will be the batter. Tap towards second. Orlando Cabrera's only play is at first. 1 down. Red Sox at second and third. And that's going to bring up Jason Varitek, who hit that home run back in the 7th, and that was a monster blow for Boston.
Well, it gave them a little breathing room is what it did. Now they have a chance to really add on. What it does, if they drive in another one, it takes a save out of play. I wonder if Papelbon would still come into this game. Quick turnaround with a 12 o'clock game tomorrow to end this 3-game series.
I'll be thinking about you guys.
Yeah, we will be thinking about you as well.
I'm sure you will.
I'll write down and we'll text you what we're going to say.
Good block by Santana. Mitch Talbot returns to the Indians starting rotation tomorrow. John Lester going for Boston.
That's another tough pitcher. They caught all 3 tough Boston pitchers. There's no question about it. Buchholz. Today you had Beckett, and tomorrow you get the lefty, John Lester.
A little bit too high. 3-0 the count here on Varitek. With Carl Crawford waiting on deck. Now Rafael Perez, victimized by the error to a certain degree, but still got to make pitches. And he walks Veritek on 4 straight, and the bases are loaded. That's going to bring up Carl Crawford, who is 0 for 2 on the evening. Santana out to talk with Rafael Perez.
It amazes me every time I see an umpire walking out to the mound how little time they give the person that walks out to the mound to talk to the pitcher.
Yeah, later in the game.
Yeah, that's part of the part. That's part. The visits to the mound are a part of the game. I mean, I think an integral part of the game because you're talking over strategy. How do you want to pitch this guy? What do you want to do with him? Either that, you're going out there saying, you need to settle down a little bit. You're rushing yourself. You're doing, and you got the umpire following about 10 foot behind, saying, "Let's go."
And there's nobody warming up in the pen to try and stall.
That's
I
right.
mean, they're not stalling for anything.
Tapper back to the mound. Perez with a quick flip to Santana. They get the force there. 2 down.
That's all he had to do. I mean, just make sure he fed him and he let him see the ball. So nice job by Perez on that high chopper. Just get him the ball, let him see it. Look at Santana's not going anywhere. Foot on the plate, give it to me, and I'm going to get my foot off the plate. Euclid slides right into the bat, sitting on home plate.
So 2 down. And Drew Sutton 0 for 2 steps to the plate. Base is still loaded. Looks at a ball down low. Sutton grounded to second in the 3rd and struck out in the 5th. You may remember last year, Drew Sutton homered for the Indians in a game against the White Sox. He spent time in the big leagues with Cincinnati in 2009 and 2010 before coming over to the Tribe last year. The 1-1 pitch is foul down the third base side, barely. Four runs on 5 hits for the Red Sox. 1 run on 5 hits for the Indians. Boston trying to blow it open here in the 9th with the bases loaded and 2 down. Rafael Perez trying to keep the Tribe within striking distance. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. That'll end the inning. Red Sox leave them loaded. Last chance for the Tribe coming up when we come back. Bottom of the ninth inning here at Progressive Field. Indians down 4-1. Jonathan Papelbon will come on to try and close it out for the Red Sox. He's had his moments already this year.
Well, you can see 8 out of 9 save opportunities, though. 27 punch-outs in 19 2/3 innings. When he has his high fastball working, that's where he can run it past you. He's got that good split. And when he's on his game, that's one tough customer. So right now what the Indians need is a couple of base runners. They had opportunities. They kept it a 3-run game.
No, the Tribe needs some base runners. Carlos Santana, Travis Buck, and Orlando Cabrera due up here in the last of the ninth. It's been a weird year, I guess, for Papelbon in that the 9 save chances that he's had are the fewest through 47 games in his 6 seasons as a closer.
Well, because they started off so slowly, they weren't hitting, they never had a lot of leads, and they lost their first 6 straight and then scuffled a little while before they started to turn it around and play better baseball. He's going to get his opportunities now, though.
Up high, ball 1 to Carlos Santana.
Yeah, if you can get this leadoff man aboard, the crowd will be into it. They're starting to believe again. You know, if you can get that one base runner out there.
That's it. That's exactly it. You know, Papelbon has that closer's mentality. All the good ones have that, where they're just about a half bubble off.
Yeah, he's been a good closer for a long time. You know, he's going to be
in there for a strike.
A free agent at the end of the year, and they brought in Bobby Jenks, you know, figuring from Chicago. They ended up signing him for big money, not knowing if they were going to sign this guy. But I'll tell you what, Chicago let Jenks go, not knowing they didn't have a closer at the time. They figured they'd give it to Thornton, and things didn't work out the right way until Santos comes around. When you've got a guy that's been as solid as this guy has, it's tough not to keep him.
Well, to be a legitimate contender, you've got to have a good leadoff hitter, a 4-hole hitter. You've got to have a #1 starter, and you've got to have a good closer.
The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Santana with a big rip. And now he's down to the count 1-2.
Yeah, you got to stay short with this guy. The bigger rip, the better he likes it. Coming back with some fastball in.
Bouncing ball. Lowry throws him out, 1 away. Stay tuned after the ball game for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show. Conrad's, home of the lowest everyday tire price guarantee. Rick told you earlier, we're right back here tomorrow with a noon start. Mitch Talbot, John Lester will have it for you on Sports Time Ohio. So quick turnaround for the Tribe. Travis Buck singled and scored the only run for the Tribe back in the 2nd inning. That's fouled back. Papelbon got a save against the Yankees on May 13th. That was his first save since April 22nd. So he went 20 days without a save, and we don't have his day by days, but he probably went with not too many appearances either.
I'm sure Terry Francona did what he could to keep him sharp and give him appearances, but it's still not the same.
Swung on and missed. Yeah, how many times did you bring a Mike Jackson into a ball game where it wasn't a save situation, and the next thing you know,
Oh, I remember one time in Chicago we did it. He gave up 13 runs, and third down, he gave up like 8 in the 9th inning. And we needed to get a cage for him. I mean, he was.
Two-strike pitch. They want to run it up high, and Buck fouls it back.
He was upset, to say the least.
One thing about Mike Jackson, he was never shy about his feelings,
You
was
knew
he?
where you stood with Mike. That's right. Mike was he's never had to tiptoe around. But I tell you what, Mike made us awfully good.
He's the kind of guy probably never shied away from a fight in his life.
I would be really surprised if he had.
Yeah. Not that he would go looking for it, but by any means. Two-strike pitch hammered down the left field line. Does it stay fair? No. Buck didn't exactly bolt out of the box, so I had a feeling he knew it wasn't going to stay fair, but it sure looked awfully close.
Well, it was awfully close.
Yeah. Oh, and 2 the count. Papelbon has thrown 8 pitches. 7 have been strikes. Out of play. It almost looks like Veritek's trying to get him to throw the ball off the plate or up out of the strike zone, and Papelbon keeps missing more on the plate or in the strike zone, which is enabling Buck to foul these pitches off and stay alive.
In these situations, 0-2 like this, Veritek likes the ball, likes to pitch up, and I haven't seen him do that yet.
Down in the dirt.
You'll see one here. There you go. He changes his eye level. Throws that splitter down. Now you get Buck looking down there, and now you can throw the fastball by him up. Travis is a good low ball hitter, by the way, too. Yeah, and that's what you want. When you've got a 3-run lead, you got him down on the count, 2 strikes. You don't want to throw him a strike. Let him get himself out. And
down again.
Another split.
2-2. Boston trying to even the series at a game apiece and get their first win of the year against the Tribe. Travis Buck trying to keep hope alive for the Indians here in the 9th inning. And he rips it to deep right field. Drew is back. It's over his head and gone. Travis Buck's second home run of the year slices the Red Sox lead in half. It's 4-2.
Well, this is the fastball that he throws, Travis. He's sitting away, and look at that. Swinging room. Right into the barrel head of the bat, and he just put a nice swing on it, and that ball got out of here in a hurry on a line drive.
Over the head of Orlando Cabrera. That's the 3rd time tonight that Cabrera has had a pitch thrown at his coconut. All 3 times they've been off speed pitches. Weird, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's enough to give the guy a complex.
Now you need a base runner, and you get that tying run to the plate.
Up high, 2 balls, no strikes. Well, this crowd starting to inch a little forward in their seats. And they get one more base runner aboard here, and it will be bedlam in a hurry. Papelbon's 2-0 pitch. Caught the outside corner with a strike.
It's okay. He's taking all the way. He's going to make him get in the strike zone. You still need that base runner.
Now the 2-1. Hit in the air. Right field near the line. Drew chasing in the foul ground. Makes the catch. 2 away. Now to bring up Matt Laporta. And Laporta tonight 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. He pulled a ground ball through the left side of the infield in the 5th inning, then hit a sharp ground ball on the 3rd base line in the 7th that Kevin Youkiel has stopped from going down into the corner. But he was unable to retire Laporta when the ball rolled away from him into foul territory. And again, Laporta trying to get aboard here to get that tying run to the plate. Jonathan Papelbon lets it fly, and Laporta comes up empty. Big swing and a miss.
Yeah, there's a little slide piece right there. Again, Matt's got to realize that you need a base runner. You don't, I mean, a home run, you just want to bring that tying run to the plate.
Well, the difference between an experienced player and hitter in Orlando Cabrera and Matt, an inexperienced young hitter.
High drive, deep left, back is Crawford on the track, and he pulls it down to end the game. Well, Laporta gave it a ride, but the Red Sox prevail as Crawford pulls it down on the track, and Boston wins it by a final score here tonight of 4-2. They even the series at a game apiece, stopped the Indians' 4-game win streak. Josh Beckett gets the win. He is now 4-1 on the season. And the save to Jonathan Papelbon, who now has 9 on the year. Losing pitcher is Fausto Carmona. He drops to 3-5. With the win, Boston is 26-22. The Indians drop to 30-16. Time now for our play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. Thanks for making KeyBank the #1 bank in Northeastern Ohio.
Well, here's a play that started off when the Red Sox got it. Ortiz hit a line drive to center field. Carrera races back after it, and he went back too far. Couldn't put the brakes on as that ball falls in front of him. Ends up going for a double. And then all of a sudden, Veritek gets a line drive down the line and hits the foul pole. That was the 2-run inning. That was actually the difference in the ball game. And it gave him 4 runs. So that's going to be our KeyBank key play of the game.